At BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our client service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are once again welcome to Heritage TV, your very own TV station, and it's hanging out with Vicky. I hope you are all doing well and keeping safe. Today we are back again as usual for our legal hour with BWF Solicitors. This program is sponsored by Victon Estates, your #1 property company. If you need someone to manage your property, you're looking for property to sell or buy a property, and also looking for a property to rent, I want to rent your property, look nowhere else. Contact Victon Estates on 0744861971. And our second sponsor is Eagle Heights International School, your #1 Maths Tuition Center. You can contact them on 0754370721. Today's topic is on spousal visa application. We have with us today our most faithful lawyer and partner of BWF Solicitors, Mrs. Eunice Achampong with us, who is going to take us through this topic, spousal visa application. She's going to, explain to us what a spousal visa application, who is eligible, how do you go about it, and we will also go through few questions or scenarios regarding this application process. I would like to ask all our viewers to contribute to this program, send in your questions, and Lawyer Eunice is here to answer all your questions. We are also streaming live on all social media handles, Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube, just to mention a few. So when you go on all these social media handles, you will catch us live there. And that will also entreat you to share to all your friends and loved ones so that they will also be impacted and also learn something from this discussion. Lawyer Eunice, you are welcome to Heritage TV Hanging Out with Vicky.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you once again. I hope your week has been great.
Yes, it is. It has been great. We thank God. Irrespective of the lockdown.
I know. It started on Thursday. Everybody was like, oh my goodness. But this time it's not as strict as the one
Is that
in
yes,
March.
exactly.
Yes.
Mm, mm,
So we
mm,
thank God
mm,
that at least
mm,
the school kids are able to go back to school, and they're saying that people
mm,
that are
mm.
able to work from home can still go to work. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very, very good. And how is the BWF family doing? You know, Mr. Bernard Owusu, Richard, everyone,
Francis,
um,
Patrick, yes,
Francis,
Cynthia.
Patrick, Theo. Oh my goodness, what's this lady? The manager. What's her name?
Oh, Cynthia.
Cynthia. Yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. I hope they're all
They are
doing
all
well
doing well by
and
God's
working
grace.
extremely hard.
Definitely. We're
I'm
keeping
told you
busy.
guys are so busy. Yeah,
Yes. I mean, even during this time that they're saying that we've gone back to lockdown, obviously we're keeping the government's measures in place as to people covering their faces, the washing of the hands, the social distancing. So
yeah,
we will have
yeah.
people come in for appointments to do with their applications, to do with appeal matters, especially because we are also key workers, and appeal cases have to keep going on regardless. So
Mm,
you have clients that have to come in, and so therefore we have to stay open for these sort of scenarios and cases where the client has no choice but to come in and see us. So yes,
mm,
we are keeping busy, and hopefully during this lockdown, we will still be busy until maybe the Christmas break or whatever. Yeah.
mm, mm. Lawyer Eunice, before we touch on the topic, spousal visa application,
Yeah.
can you tell us what is happening at the moment regarding the time frame for application? I know it's
Mm,
dependent on what type of application you've put through, but you know, in connection to this lockdown,
yeah.
employees being asked to work from home, some
Yeah.
being furloughed. I don't know much about the home office, but at least if you
Mm,
can give us an idea,
yeah.
its effect on the length of time a decision is made on applications. Is it
Yeah.
improving or is it getting worse?
I mean, since the lockdown in March, we realized that a lot of the applications that, for instance, are supposed to be in-country applications where they would take
Yeah,
about 8 weeks to make a decision, that didn't happen because a lot of the centers where biometrics are supposed to be taken also got closed down, and they didn't reopen until I think July thereabouts, and that's when
right.
they staggered the number of people that can go in for biometric appointments, because they were thinking, okay, if we don't stagger this and people are making new applications, then it means that we will have an influx of people coming to our centers, and we wouldn't be able to deal with the numbers, because we are supposed to still keep the government measures in place where there will be some
Mm,
social
mm,
distancing and the covering of the face. And so
mm.
they had to stagger the biometric appointments. And um, for cases where, for instance, a person is probably making an application for the first time for leave to remain, the Home Office themselves will then send you an email to say, do you know what? Come to our center and then come and have your biometrics taken. And then you usually go with a
Okay,
copy of your passport, and that's done
right.
for you, because they themselves will send an email to that effect. But then for most people, it was the UK VCAS, which is the, should I say, secondary company that the Home Office have outsourced biometric enrollments to. They will be the ones that were usually sending emails to people to come and have their biometric appointments taken. And then you have like
Mm,
the few paper applications that are left. And with those paper applications, it will be the Home Office who would send you a letter or an email to go and have your
Oh, okay.
biometrics taken.
Okay.
And so, because of the workload that they had previously, that has also, should I say, added on some pressure to them trying to
Pressure.
reduce their backlog as well. Because obviously
Mm.
they've had to stagger the intake of biometrics, and then with the biometrics that they've taken, most of the I like the fact that most of the Home Office people were able to work from home. So they were able to send emails out to say, okay, yes, we can see that the biometrics hasn't been taken, but can you please send documents for A, B, and C? And
All
so that
right.
was also a good thing as well. And in terms of this lockdown, the biometric centers are still open. They haven't said they're going to shut
Okay.
anytime. So that's a good thing because it's a 4-week lockdown just to make things, should I say, less critical for the NHS as well. So they haven't
Okay.
said they're going to close down. So the biometric centers will still be open during this time so that people will still be able to have their biometrics taken where relevant. So we're just
Mm.
looking at, the time frame. They haven't said they are not going to work because most of them are able to work from home anyway. So hopefully,
Mm.
that shouldn't have too much of an effect on people who have made applications already or who will be making applications in the near future. So we're just keeping an eye on things. I mean, there have been people who have made applications since, let's say, ending of March, April, but they haven't received decisions as yet. But I'm sure as things are picking up, they will also receive some sort of confirmation because I have had emails where they said they are sorry, they haven't been able to
Okay.
look at the application within the standard time, and therefore they will do as much as possible to make a decision or process the application as quickly as they can. So, with different
Okay.
types of
Okay.
applications, I mean, there is a standard time, and with things like EA applications, the standard 6 months period is still applicable, or in cases where you have derivative rights applications as well, there will be that 6 months processing time. But with, I
Okay.
mean, leave to remain applications where the time is much lower, they will obviously send us some sort of email to let us know, yes, they are working on it and they still need some time to process the application. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, brilliant. At least the reason why I'm asking this question to put people's mind, at
Ah,
rest, because sometimes
yeah.
when they put in an application, they believe probably before the COVID, things
Mm,
were done quickly, and
mm,
you do get your decisions, within a short space of time. But
yeah.
with this current situation, since March, beginning of the year. So people are like, I'm not
Mm,
too sure what is happening, So
happening.
at
Yeah.
least we know what is happening, and we have to just give the Home Office time to try and clear all those backlogs and
Yeah.
get things going. Right. Lioness,
Yes.
spousal visa application. I know it's got to do with a spouse.
Yes.
For the benefit of those watching us, what is spousal visa application?
Okay. So usually when we are talking about a spousal visa, that would be an application for somebody who would like to join their spouse here in the UK. So usually a visa would be what they will put in your passport. So that should I say vignette that they put inside the passport to let you know that you've been granted a visa as the spouse of Mr. So and so or Mrs.
Yeah.
So and so to enter the UK. So on
Mm-hmm.
that vignette, it will have that instruction that you are entering as a spouse of whoever it is, and it will give you the
Okay.
date of entry or the date that the visa will be valid from to the date of expiry. And usually this will be like a 30-day period, and you only have that period to make your entry into the UK. And then once
UK.
you've entered, then you can go to the post office designated to you to go and pick up your biometric card. So everybody nowadays will be given a biometric
Biometric.
permit. Yeah, as of
Okay.
the 2015. So most of this came about by the Immigration Act 2014. So most people will now have a biometric permit with their leave to remain on it. So that is
Okay.
a little bit about what a spousal visa is. But then, as we always mention as well, under the law, this is seen under Appendix FM of our immigration rules. So making that entry clearance application as a spouse, and then the fact that you've made that application is also seen or categorized under Appendix FM as a family application, as a partner or a spouse. So
Okay.
family life with that partner or a spouse is also a human right. So you have that right to family life based on your Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights, because you want to spend your lifetime with this person. And so
Person.
it's, yes, termed as family life of a partner or with a partner under the Appendix F of the immigration rules. So usually most people who would be making that application will be making it under Appendix FM of the rules, just for their spouse to be able to join them. And then, as you rightly said, there will be certain requirements that they have to meet in order for their spouse to be able to join them in the UK. And those are
Okay.
the sort of things we'll be looking at as well.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. Let me remind our viewers that you can get in touch with us, send us your questions on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter. Send in your questions, and Lawyer Eunice is here to answer all your questions. And if you have any contributions, I'm very happy to hear from you. Oh dear, the questions have started coming in. This person doesn't want me to mention her name, but she said, I have been married to my wife since 2005. We have 2 children together. I obtained indefinite leave to remain in 2007 after the birth of our firstborn. I have since naturalized as a British citizen, and our second child is also British. How do I bring my wife and son to the UK, Lawyer Eunice?
So in this case, this is somebody who has obviously lived here quite some time to get indefinite leave to remain. And he says that his second child now has British citizenship. And he now wants to bring the wife and then the first child to the UK to obviously continue his family life. So such a person, the advice that I will give to him is that he has to obviously meet the requirements under Appendix FM of our immigration rules. And one of them being the fact that there has to be a relationship, a genuine and subsistent relationship. So if he's making the application for somebody who is outside the UK, tick, is the person that he's saying that he is bringing a partner under our immigration rules. And usually, if you look at our immigration rules, Gen 1.2 describes a partner as somebody who you are married to, or you've lived together with that person for about 2 years. So if he's married to her, as he is saying, they will need evidence of that marriage certificate to know whether he is indeed married or not. And then another requirement is the fact that they have to have a genuine and subsistent relationship. So what can you show to the entry clearance officers for them to know that you are in a genuine and subsistent relationship with the person? He says that he has children with this person. So having the birth certificates is a good example to show that yes, you are named as the parent of these children. If they communicate all the time, their communication. So it could be on WhatsApp, it could be on Twitter, Messenger, wherever you communicate with your spouse, you should have evidence of this. If you're calling them, you can ask your phone companies for a call itinerary so that you can literally highlight the calls that you make to your spouse. So evidence
That's hard work.
it is. It is, but hey, what can you So yes, please, you can provide evidence of your WhatsApp, your Messenger, your phone call. All of this counts as evidence that your marriage is still subsisting. Obviously, they don't really like taking photographs, but if you can provide a few photographs of your wedding, of your visits to your spouse and to your children, yes, provide some photographs of these occasions when you were married, when you went to see the children, when you went to see your wife. All of those are good evidence of showing that your relationship is indeed genuine and subsisting. And then you can also add any travel itinerary or boarding passes that you may have accumulated. It's all good to show that you have indeed gone there as you said you have. And some people will have stamps in their passports. So for some people, they will have stamps when they were going, stamps when they were coming back. But at least with a travel itinerary, you know that it will have both the dates of when you went and when you came back on there as well. And then when it comes to showing that at least your relationship is genuine and subsisting, they want you to also meet the requirement of you showing that you can meet the English language test. So for most, should I say, non-European nationals, you would have to show that you have taken the IELTS, which is IELTS. So it's an IELTS life skills test for most non-EA nationals, and that could be taken at the relevant British council in that country where the person is applying from.
All right.
And then they have to meet a level A1. So if you are taking that test, you should be able to take the test, and then they should score you at a level A1 to be eligible to meet that requirement. So once you have scored a level A1 for the IELTS life skills, you know you are good to go. Then they have another requirement, which is the financial requirements. They want to know that you, as a person who is the spouse, the British person, or the person who has indefinite leave to remain, they want to know that you are working. So either that you are employed by someone or that you are self-employed, and that your employment is able to fetch you at least 18,600 a year. So if you are saying that you are able to earn 18,600 a year, then the government knows that you are able to maintain yourself and any spouse that you are bringing over to come and live with you. So as a result, they will say, okay, because you are able to meet this requirement, then we would then say that you can meet that, you have satisfied that financial requirement. And then they want to know that you can also adequately accommodate that person who is coming to live with you. So if you have a tenancy agreement, most people will provide a tenancy agreement to show that they can adequately maintain that person, accommodate that person who is coming. So they will provide a tenancy agreement. Most people may not have a tenancy agreement, so that means that they will have to provide a letter from the landlord to say that yes, this person is renting one room, and I'm in agreement with this person inviting their husband to come and live with them on my premises. That's okay with me because they are sleeping in a double bedroom or whatever it is, and so the room is suitable enough for this person who is coming, because under
Okay.
our housing act as well, there's a requirement, and usually there's a measurement
Yeah.
of the room. So if you are saying somebody else can come and live in that room, then there has to be certain measurements in place in terms of that room size. So they look at the room size and the number of people that can, should I say, be accommodated in that room as well. So most people will provide a letter from the landlord or a tenancy agreement, or in the case where the person owns their own home, even better, they will provide their title deeds or the mortgage agreements that they have with the bank as a proof that this person will be adequately accommodated when they come. And then one last thing, also the fact that they have to have a tuberculosis medical test done if they are
Okay.
from any country where they believe that tuberculosis can be of high risk. So most countries in Africa would be the countries where they would require that the applicant takes that tuberculosis test, just so that they are sure that this person has not been infected with tuberculosis before entering the UK. So that's another one of the requirements that have to be met. So if the applicant, who is the wife, has been able to meet the financial requirements, done the English language test, they've been able to show that they are in a genuine and subsistent relationship, then in terms of the application that they are able to make, then they have their heads down that they are able to make this application. In terms of that child, because the child is now part of the family, in terms of the child, as long as the mother is able to show, or should I say, the partner who is here in the UK is able to show that they can also meet the additional financial requirement. So now that he's saying that he's working, so 18,600, if you add another additional applicant to that who is a dependent, that would make it 22,400. So an
22,000.
additional
Okay.
fee of 3,800 will be added on to the 18,600.
Okay.
So now it means that the partner who is here in the UK has to have at least, or should show that they are earning at least 22,400 a year to be able to make the application for the child to also join him in the UK. So now that he's able to know that this is the financial threshold he's supposed to meet, when the application is decided, when the mother is granted her entry clearance, the child will also be granted entry clearance in line with what the mother has, because they are both able
Okay.
to meet the requirements. So once the requirements have been met, then they know that they are settled. They shouldn't have any worries whatsoever about it.
Okay. All right, Lawyer Eunice, regarding the financial evidence, the 18,000, is it 18,600 or 18,000?
18,600. Yeah.
Good. That 18,600, does the spouse herself have to provide any financial backing as well by herself,
Yeah.
or it's just the sponsor or the husband who is supposed to submit that 18,600? Does the spouse also have to show any financial commitment that she can also fend for herself financially, or it doesn't matter? And the second
So
question is, when it came to the immunization, you spoke about tuberculosis. And I know
yes.
that a lot of Africans, when they are traveling, I think they asked them to go for malaria, yellow fever, tuberculosis. So I'm just wondering, is it just tuberculosis now, or you would have to get those two, or is only the tuberculosis, which is very, very, very important? You can still go without malaria and yellow fever.
Okay. So, in terms of the first question, when we talk about meeting that financial requirement of 18,600, the immigration rules is very specific. It says that the partner or the sponsor who is British or who has settlement is the one who has to provide that evidence that they
Provide,
meet that
right, right.
18,600 threshold. So they will be the ones to
Okay.
provide the pay slips and the bank
Mm, mm.
statements and the letter from the
Okay.
employer for the past 6 months, so that
Okay.
the entry clearance officer is sure that they meet that 18,600 threshold. And
Okay.
then the additional child, which is 3,800, which will
800.
make it a
Okay.
total of 23,400, should be met by the partner or the sponsor who is here in the UK. And
Okay.
obviously, there will be times when people may find it a bit difficult to meet that threshold, and then there will be other requirements that must be met for them to make that
Okay.
financial threshold.
Okay.
And then you were talking
All right.
about the tuberculosis. So
Tuberculosis, yeah.
in terms of the testing, because they are the ones who are outside who want to come into the UK, so I think obviously the intention of Parliament behind that is the fact that they don't want the virus to come back into Britain, and that's why they are very
Britain. Okay.
particular about
Mhm.
people doing the tests to make sure that they don't have any, should I say, trace of the tuberculosis within them, so that they then bring the infection into the UK.
Into the
And
UK.
the things that you were mentioning, those are for people who are in the UK going to those countries where
All right.
yes,
Okay. Okay.
there's high risk
Okay.
of what do you call it, yellow fever or malaria or the rest of it. So usually when you're traveling outside of the UK to those countries, they would advise
Then
you
you
to
have to. Okay.
take those inoculations for all of those other illnesses, so that obviously you are
Okay.
protected
All right.
when you go
Okay.
out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it very clear. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Lawyer Eunice, the second question. This person is unanimous. She says, my husband and I have a child together, and I have 2 children from previous relationship. I'm currently taking benefits and work 2 days a week. I'm unable to meet the financial requirement. How then do I bring my husband over? Very, very good question. She can't, meet that 18,600 threshold. How can she bring her
Yeah.
husband in?
Yeah.
Pardon
So,
me.
I mean, similar to the first person, the other requirements have to still be met. So she has to show that she's in a relationship with this gentleman that she wants to go and
Okay.
bring. The gentleman has to be able to meet the English language requirements by doing the IELTS at a level A1, and she should be able to show that she will be able to accommodate the man when he comes. So she says she has 2 children from a previous relationship,
Yeah.
and she currently has another child by this current partner of hers.
Partner.
So
Yeah.
they will be looking at how many bedrooms, I mean, she has available in the home as well. So she has to meet all these other requirements as well. In terms of the financial requirement, she's saying that she hasn't got that 18,600 because she's receiving benefits and she's not even working, I mean, sufficiently for her to even meet the requirements in the first place. And this usually happens. And because they are unable to meet the financial requirement, they find it so difficult bringing the other spouse. And this requirement wasn't there prior to July 2012. So,
Okay.
as a result of the immigration rules changing in July 2012, then they came with the requirement that there has to be this income threshold of 18,600, and you can just see people's faces when that requirement came, because it was all of a sudden, and it was, people were thinking, why 18,600? But this is,
1,600.
yes, this is something that the government was advised about at the time, that because of the current income levels and the expenses and the rest of it, the advisory group to the government at the time said this is the income that they should be looking at if somebody were to bring their spouse to the UK. So they implemented it, and it's become very difficult for people in her situation, for instance, where they have
But lawyer,
children.
okay, so lawyer Eunice, this 18,600 threshold,
Yeah.
definitely the reason they are given, I am feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, that they wouldn't want people coming in and claiming benefits. That is what I think. The reason
Okay.
for that 18,600
It's
threshold,
just
meaning you can take care of your spouse. Because if you can't
yes.
take care of them, they become a burden on the state.
Yeah. I think that is partly the reasoning behind it, because you should also look at it from the point of view of this partner who is now making the application to enter into the UK may be capable of working. So maybe the chances are when this person arrives, he will also be working to supplement the
Working.
income,
You have a
yes,
point. Okay.
in the
Yeah, so
household.
it's two ways. All
So
right.
yes, it's two ways as
Mm-hmm.
well. So yes, we can see the government's intention was to make sure that this person who wants to bring the partner from outside the UK has enough to be able to basically bring this person and maintain them, so that they will not be a burden on the state. Yes, we understand that there has to be that should I say, the level platform, so that they are sure that they wouldn't become a burden once they arrive in the UK. But then there are scenarios where, like I was saying, the other partner can come and then work and also supplement the income. So
Yep.
apart from the 18,600, you have the fact that you can have savings. So the immigration rule says that if you and your partner have savings of at least 16,000 in your account, and you can show that apart from the 16,000 pound savings that you have, you can show for each year. So, for instance, when you make an application, they grant you
Yeah.
30 months or 2.5 years leave to remain.
Yeah.
So, if you can show that in addition to the 16,000, you have at least the should I say the shortfall of the 18,600 is 2,600 if you add it on to the 16,000. So if you can show the shortfall of 2,600 times the 2.5 years that you were supposed to have, in addition to that 16,000 pounds, which makes it over and above the 18,600 you are initially supposed to meet, then it means that including the savings and the additional 2,600 times 2.5 years, you will not even be able to meet that threshold. That's even the two of you. That's not even just the person in the UK. That's the two of you's savings and income added on.
Yeah.
And you are just thinking, oh my goodness, this is difficult. This is hard. How do you still meet that income threshold if the two of you have savings? Even if you have savings that meet the 16,000, how are you going to show that your income can meet that
Yeah.
shortfall
Yeah.
that you are supposed to meet? So because of that, there was a case called Lebanon, which went all the way up to the Supreme Court, because somebody was just fed up, or should I say, some people were just fed up with this
The brave
requirement.
ones.
they were just fed up with this requirement that the 18,600 has to be met. And so now we have a breakdown of this 18,600 requirement. And in this case, we realize that where the other party or the partner who is in the UK cannot meet this requirement, they
Okay.
can show other evidence that it is possible for instance, the person who will be coming to join them in the UK, the applicant, may have some job offer from a third
Okay.
party company or
Company.
employer.
All right.
And if they are able to show that they have this job offer from this company, and they are able to show that, do you know what, when this applicant comes, he will be able to work to meet a certain income threshold, which is the 18,600 that you are talking about, then they would, should I say, assess it, and then they should be able to grant this applicant leave to enter the UK because he's been able to show that this company will be able to give him a job which will
Yeah.
meet that requirement in the first place. Or the partner who is here can evidence that maybe a third party, so it could be any individual. So the individual can say that they are writing an undertaking to confirm that they will be able to maintain this spouse who is coming once they arrive in the UK. And so they will have to show their bank statements of at least 6 months and
Months.
their
Okay.
pay slips, and also a letter from their employer to show their income, to show that they would be able to maintain this applicant once he enters the UK. So there are other options available if
Available.
the
Okay.
18,600 cannot be met by the supposed sponsor or spouse who is here in the UK. So that's also another good thing that has come out of case laws. I mean, sometimes the Home Office doesn't listen to everything, but there are certain things
Yeah.
they realize that they are wrong, and then they have to make those changes in their policy and within the immigration rules to reflect what people's attitudes are towards their, should I say, their requirements. So yes, for this person who wants to bring her husband over and hasn't got that 18,600, definitely, if he were to have a job offer, or if there were a third party who was willing to say that they will be able to maintain the sponsor when he comes, then she has those options available to her so that she can make the application for her husband to come and help her. And I'm sure most men, they are not lazy. They will come and work anyway and support you with the children,
It's true.
and also, yeah, do what they have to do to support the home as well. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, please bring in your questions. I'm really learning a lot from this. Send in your questions. Laura Eunice is here to answer all your questions, and you have any queries. I've got another person that is Sylvia. I have lived with my husband for the past 10 years. And we have applied it a couple of times for leave to remain in UK as a way of regularizing my stay in the UK. I was advised to return to Ghana and make an application from there. How quickly will I be able to come back? So I use this question, a lot of people have been advised to go back and apply, and
Yeah.
when things don't go their way, you are stuck.
Yes. I know what
But
you
I'm told
mean.
it's the quickest way though.
The way
Is
to
it true?
do it as well. So, in this person's scenario, most of the time, I know a lot of people would say they were advised to go back. Usually, the only reason why you will be advised to go back is if, for instance, there isn't any British child or
All right.
child who has lived
Okay.
here continuously for 7 years for you to rely on that child. And so, because maybe it's just the two of you and you can't meet the insurmountable obstacle threshold, then they say, because it's a very difficult threshold to meet, and I'm sure in this person's case, they may have also gone for appeal because she says she's done it a couple of times and they still haven't been successful. And so go for appeal and the same issue is coming up time and time again, then it means you need to change your strategy. So
Okay.
you stop using that strategy and then change the strategy for a while and see how that one also goes. So in this scenario where she says that she's done it a couple of times, she hasn't been successful, she's been advised to go back home and make the
Go back.
application. The usual standpoint from the Home Office or from our immigration rules is that under paragraph A320 of our immigration rules, it states that where an application is being made under certain sub-paragraphs, the Home Office or the entry clearance officer would usually not apply a ban, because usually there's, should I say, an automatic ban for people who have been here illegally, who have been overstayers, who have breached certain conditions of their immigration status files in the UK. There is usually a ban that is applicable if the person commits any of these, should I say, offenses. But they're saying that under paragraph A320 that this will not be applicable. So the entry clearance officer should disregard or should not apply any of those bans come if somebody is making an application under Appendix FM. And usually most applications may been given a ban because there will be that automatic ban in most cases. But we thank goodness that now anybody who is making an application for entry clearance or leave to enter wouldn't have to face any of these bans because it's stated clearly that it should be disregarded or it shouldn't apply in cases where an application is being made for entry clearance under Appendix FM. So that's great news. So you know that if you were to go back home, there wouldn't be any ban whatsoever in your case. But then you should be able to meet the requirements. So even though the ban doesn't apply, you still should be able to meet the relationship requirements, which is the fact that you have a genuine and subsistent relationship with this person who is British or who has settlement in the UK. And in most cases, if you have been married before, please make sure that you haven't because in this scenario she says that she's lived with him for over 10 years, and so
10 years
you should make sure that that you are married. If you were previously married or you were previously in another relationship, please make sure that you are divorced and you are making the step to marry. So
no complications.
Once you have once you have divorced, then you can take on the next step of getting married to this person. And then you can show that, oh yes, we've lived together for this number of years. So if it's 10 years, I'm sure they'll have a lot of evidence, letters, proof of addresses, utility bills, to all show that they've been living together for that period before he or she returned back to their country. And so once they're able to show that evidence of their subsistent relationship and how genuine it is, then of course they have to make sure that they are also able to meet the English language requirements. So if they want to take the exam here, they can do so. They can do the ESOL here at a level A1 before they return back to their country where they are from. And then they have to also show that at least the man or the partner who is here can meet that financial threshold of the 18,000.
Yeah.
Yes. 18,600, and
Okay.
also the fact that they will be able to adequately accommodate themselves. So the tenancy agreement or the mortgage deeds or the letter from the landlord to show that they will be able to stay in the property when they come. And then because she'll
Okay.
be returning, you have to do that tuberculosis medical certificate
Very
as well.
important. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. Papa is sent in this question for me to read. Last year, I submitted an application for my wife to join me in the UK, and she was refused in February this year. The main reason why she was refused was because the tuberculosis medical certificate she submitted had expired. I decided to lodge an appeal as I did not want to pay the application fee again. What are her chances? Does she have to start all over again, or just
Yeah.
get the new certificate for the tuberculosis and progress with the application? Is that done?
So usually in should I say entry clearance appeals, what usually happens is that they would require that the evidence that was submitted at the time that the application was made will be the evidence that would usually be looked at by the court in terms of any sort of entry clearance application or appeal to the court. So usually most appeals will have the evidence that you submitted with the application when you were making it,
Application,
and
okay.
yeah, and to provide new evidence, that will be a matter of the law. So usually under section 82 of our immigration, which is our Nationality and Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, that gives powers to the court or the tribunals that usually handle immigration matters. And then the court has a power to, should I say, require new evidence to be brought forward if the need be. So what usually happens is that if the person who is now the applicant wants to now produce a new tuberculosis certificate, then they should be able to produce one which is within the time that they want to come. So if I may put it this way, most tuberculosis medical certificates are valid for a period of 6 months. So if
6
you
months,
are
okay.
refused and you now want to show that, okay, you've been able to now go and have it done again and it's valid for another 6 months, some people will choose to just reapply and pay the application fee and pay the IHS. I mean, IHS will usually be refunded to you if your application is refused. But if it hasn't been refunded yet, usually most people will pay that again just so that they can make the application, and then that should be the way forward. But in this person's case, if they have the tuberculosis medical certificate and they want to include that as evidence, most of the time when you're making the appeal grounds, they would usually send copies of whatever documents you send to the entry clearance manager as well. So if the entry clearance manager has sight of the evidence and they want to now review the application, and then they look at the fact that, oh, okay, you met all the other requirements. The only requirement was would grant you the tuberculosis. I mean, we will grant you leave to enter because you have shown evidence of your tuberculosis medical certificate. So that's also another way that it can be done. As long as evidence is provided in time before the hearing, I'm sure the entry clearance manager can overturn the decision of the entry clearance officer before even an appeal date is given.
But Lawyer Eunice, you see, with this tuberculosis certificate that this particular viewer is talking about it being expired, how about
Yes.
putting the application through? The tuberculosis certificate was valid, but probably the process for the application for it to be concluded, whether it was successful or not. By the time the decision came, the tuberculosis certificate is run out. How does this work? Would it be overlooked for you to, after the application has been successful, to go and have the tuberculosis done, or prior to when decision is being made, they realize that, oh my goodness, your certificate expires within a couple of days or within a week?
Yeah.
Does that halt the decision making? How does it work?
So if your application was made with a few days left on your tuberculosis medical certificate, as long as you submitted your application and the date was still in time, then that is through no fault of yours. So if, for instance, you made the application and there was just, 3 days left on the medical certificate, fair enough. As long as you were able to submit the application and also do your biometrics within that time, then you're clear in your head that you made the application whilst the tuberculosis medical certificate was within the time it's supposed to, should I say, have expired. If they now make a decision and they realize that it has expired, they will tell you that you should go and have another one done. So you would have the opportunity to go and have another medical test done so that they are sure that you don't have, should I say, tuberculosis. So once you've got the decision, you would have to go and do another tuberculosis test. And then once they've received the test for that period, you can travel. I'm sure when you get to the airport, because they know that that's something that they asked you to do, I'm sure the immigration officers will be like, have you done it? And they want to see evidence that you've taken it as well, so you can provide it at hand as well. Yeah.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
as long as the application has been made in time, then you don't need to worry so much about the date it expires once it's in their, should I say, hands.
Pardon me. Okay, right. Oh my goodness. See how time flies so quickly. Laura Eunice, I think we can only tackle one last question because of time, because we have to also make way for the next program.
Yes.
The last question, yes, I submitted an application for my wife to join me in January this year. She was asked to come for her passport. However, she was not given the visa, neither was she given any reasons for refusal. What do I do? Why didn't they give her a reason?
Yeah, I think this is something that I've realized with the lockdown as well. So some people made the applications, and because the centers were closed from the ending of March up to sometime in August, or September for some visa centers back in Accra or Nigeria, most visa centers just reopened very recently. And you would realize that most of the time, those that are making those entry clearance applications, they would usually be sent a message, or they will be phoned to let them know that the decision has been made or they should come for their passport. So if a message is sent, they will tell them you can come between this time to this time for your documents. And sometimes I've had situations where people have gone, they've picked up their passport, they've looked in their passport to see if there's a visa, and there's no visa. And they've tried to find out, was it refused? Why am I given the passport? And in this case, if they haven't given you any reasons for refusal, then it's up for you to, challenge them why they haven't given you any notice for refusal, because under our Immigration Act 1971, they have to give you notice if they have refused you. So if they haven't given you any notice for refusal, then you have to challenge them. And if they were supposed to grant and they didn't grant as well, then obviously that needs to be challenged as well. So usually what we will do is a pre-action protocol to let them know that this is the mistake they have made, they need to correct it, and so on and so forth. And then they come back, they do their own assessments, they go back to the case and then try and figure out what it should have been that was not. And yes, once a legal representative is able to do that sort of pre-action protocol or letter before claim to them, they will come back and let you know whether they were supposed to grant it or they were supposed to have refused it and they didn't give notice of the refusal. So yes, currently I've realized this is a situation that is happening, and that person should seek legal advice, proper legal advice, and then that can be taken up from there. Yeah.
Okay.
And also,
so if you right, yeah, go on then.
I was just quickly going to say that is another thing that I've noticed in terms of the fact that some people may have submitted applications online and they were not able to take their biometrics, and they've gone back and they have rebooked to take their biometrics, but for some reason, because they made the applications earlier on during the lockdown, they've been told, oh, unfortunately, we cannot have your biometrics taken because we've been told your application was made a long while back, and therefore you need to resubmit. You need to resubmit your application before your biometrics can be taken. And it's very disheartening for a lot of people who have paid money and want to book for their biometrics, but they've been turned away because they're saying this was done a long while back. And so in scenarios like this, I know some people would have just resubmitted the application again to just have the biometrics taken. But if you have a legal representative, usually a pre-action protocol or a letter before claim would be made to that, should I say, responsible body for making the decisions, whether it's a leave to remain application or an EA application, whatever application is. Once the relevant body or authority has been given notice of the fact that maybe, do you know what, we have submitted this application, the biometrics wasn't taken due to no fault of theirs. It was a national pandemic, or shall I say international pandemic, and therefore they were not able to take their biometrics, and they should be required to, take their biometrics because they've paid their legal fees, the application fee and the IHS, and they should be allowed to take their biometrics without having to reapply again to do this. And so, yes, in cases like that as well, do seek legal advice, and hopefully that should be sorted.
Okay. Wow. On that note, I think this show is unfortunately coming to an end. But before we end the show, I have to allow Lawyer Eunice to give us her details. If anybody watching us has been wondering, how do I get my spouse to join me in the UK? Lawyer Eunice has answered all your questions. If you want to get in touch with Lawyer Eunice will give you her details for you to get in touch.
Okay, so as you have just mentioned as well, I am a partner and solicitor at BWS Solicitors, and we are situated in Seven Sisters, very, very close to the Seven Sisters Underground Station. If you're coming by train, it will be exit 2. If you're coming by bus, it will be the Seven Sisters Station, and you should be looking out for Anna House. So Anna House is, should I say, one of the tallest buildings when you come to Seven Sisters. And Anna House, we are on the 4th floor. So 4th floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London. And the postcode is N154NP. So N154NP. And our main office line is 0208 493 7340. So 0208 493 7340. That's our main office line, and we are open from 9:30 to 6 p.m. My personal number out of office hours is 075 35 81 3910. So 075 35 81 3910. Thank you so much, Vicky,
Okay.
and hopefully we
Thank
should have
you
another
too.
interesting
Of
Saturday
course,
next week.
of course. Okay, thank you so much, Lawyer Eunice. And definitely we will treat another interesting topic next week. I hope you take good care of yourself. Have a lovely weekend, Lawyer Eunice. Ladies and gentlemen, so there you are. Before I bring this show to a close, I would like to give a big shout out to some colleagues at High Life Radio all the way in the US for all your support and dedication with what I'm doing. They are really acknowledging me on all social media handles. And I must say a big hi to Papa Beku, Capito, and Abna Jewel AJ. They really are doing wonderful work. And they are also really acknowledging what I'm doing here in the UK. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I also like to say thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we'll not be able to come to you every Saturday to give you legal education. BWF Solicitors, Victon Estates, and Eagle Heights International School. Hope to see you again next week, same time, with another interesting topic. But I must always remind you, please observe the protocols regarding COVID-19. Keep washing your hands, cover your face, and use the hand sanitizers. Social distancing as well. We want you to be alive. We want you to stay healthy. On behalf of Heritage TV, I say take good care of yourself, stay safe, and see you next week. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.
At BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our client service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence, and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.